The reason I'm standing here is because I burnt out, and it was bad. It was really bad. I've been doing software development as a full-time job since '94, I think. Were any of you working with software development in the dot-com boom, '99, thereabout? A few, yeah. You want to fill me in on what happened, because I don't really know. So things were a bit hazy, to say the least. So what happened is that in hindsight, I actually saw what was coming. I knew it. I just didn't understand what it meant. So what happened to me was I got angry. I was so angry. I was furious, constantly, always, which is completely out of character because I'm not an angry person. And I always told myself that this is a temporary thing, this passes. But of course it doesn't. The reason I'm angry is because I was HR's favorite guy. I was extraordinarily passionate about my job. I really thought that we were doing amazing things and we were going to change a lot for the better. And I was really proud of what we were doing, and I had a team that was absolutely amazing, and I felt that our management was constantly just ruining things by making stupid decisions. That was what I felt. And this made me angry, enormously angry. They were destroying our future, the bastards. And the problem is that I didn't work long hours. I knew that can be a problem, but I brought this anger home. I couldn't relax. I was always angry. And this, of course, affected my relationship with friends, etc., because I was always angry. Couldn't shake it. What I started doing was I realized that maybe I can exercise off the adrenaline. I bought inline roller skates. Remember those? It worked in the beginning because I didn't know what I was doing, and I fell a lot and I hurt myself a lot, and that actually worked. And then I got the hang of it, and I started going on longer and longer trips. And after a while, I was routinely doing 30, 40, 50 kilometers per day at blazing speed, running on adrenaline. And yeah, I got home and I was tired, but I was still angry. I was in really good shape, though, hard to believe. But I was. Maybe I should burn out again. Well, things just didn't work. After a while, the world became weird. This, by the way, is a photo I took during there was a snow sculpture competition, and I'm standing inside the snow sculpture where the silhouette of a person was carved out, and I'm looking through the sculpture and out to something else. I thought it's a good illustration of the world turning weird. So one thing, you probably heard about this, that the human mind, we can juggle about 7 things at the same time for some very loose definition of things, and 7. And under stress, you're getting a mental tunnel vision, so you cannot see more than a few things. So this is actually important if you need to communicate with someone under extreme stress, that you must be extraordinarily clear because they are unable to see the big picture. My attention, my ability to pay attention was dropped to one thing. That was all I can keep in my mind, one thing. When you can only keep one thing in mind, something very interesting happens. You become, by definition, completely unable to prioritize. Because if you think about it, to prioritize, you need to keep 2 things in mind and compare them. I couldn't do that. And also, if some new information came in, the other information came out. So the few friends I had still left, they kind of wondered, where were you yesterday? We were supposed to meet at whatever. So this was not good. I was lucky there. At work, we got a new head of R&D. And he obviously saw that I wasn't functioning. And less obvious, he thought that I was worth having around. So he came to me and said, okay, this is not working. You're relieved of all your duties, which is to be taken extremely literally. He said, your to-do list is now empty. We're not going to add anything to it. Go home if you want to. Be here if you want to. But when you're here, do only things you want to do, things that you feel good about. And that worked to some extent. I mean, I was obviously not very productive, but the anger went away. And after a while, I did something extraordinary. I learned to fly. That is actually me in an aerobatic biplane. I don't know why this worked for me. Because to learn to fly, you obviously need to keep more than one thing in your mind at the same time. You're learning meteorology, you're learning the principles of flight, how to plan and navigate, and all the rules and regulations, and also psychology and medicine. So you know how your body reacts to hypoxia and G-forces, such stuff. Not to mention the handcraft of actually making the plane go the way you want to. Ask anyone who's learned to fly how easy it is to do a landing in gusty crosswind. But this worked. I got my license in September 2001. That was a very weird time. No one really knew what the rules actually were. And the first time I got up in a plane on my own, with my own license, I obviously felt extremely good. How can you not feel proud of yourself for being able to do that? And this built self-esteem. Now I started seeing that I can actually achieve things. I can do things. This is extraordinary. Very few people actually do learn to fly. And from there, I could start to function at work again also. I will not lie, the programs I wrote at this time were absolutely horrible. But at least I could write programs again. And also that started building confidence slowly. So I got somewhere, I recovered, started functioning. And now, some 20 odd years on, you can think, what is the status now? Am I the phoenix risen from the ashes, stronger than ever before? Or just a pile of smoking rubble? You can argue that I am risen from ashes because I'm here, I'm speaking at international conferences. Things have not gone too bad. But there are also some things that I haven't recovered from at all. Going back to Guy's keynote yesterday about estimations, I used to have an uncanny precision in my ability to estimate the complexity and size of tasks. Really, I did. Everybody says that programmers cannot estimate. We know that, it's a stereotype. But I could. I was good at it. And now it's as if my brain shuns the very idea of time. I'm completely unable to make any estimations. Another thing you've all experienced is at one point or another where you find yourself in a room, you're walking with a purpose, but you don't know what. Why am I here? What was I up to? And there is a name for this in psychology. It's called the door effect. That when you're going through a door, you're changing context, and everything that was important in the old context is of no importance anymore. Don't bother. I have this in an extreme form in that I am more or less incapable of programming with only one pane of source code. Because if I have this pane of source code and I want to look something up, switch to see some other source code, I've forgotten why I'm there. That's not good. So I want to have at least 2 panes of source code, preferably 3 or 4, which is why I really hate long code lines. So when I can have 3 or 4 panes, it works fine. But actually, today I can program with 1 pane of source code, but I'm not good, and I often get lost, but not as bad as it used to be. And also, I get very easily distracted. I just lose my focus, wonder. Well, not wonder, I just lose whatever it was I'm doing, and I'm off doing something else, and I completely forget about what it was I should have been doing. So, really, the takeaway message is take care of yourselves. Don't burn out. It's bad, okay? It's extremely bad. You're ruining years of your career, years of your life. Just don't. Try to reflect on your own behavior. People react differently to burning out. My initial reaction, at least the initial reaction that I myself, in hindsight, know about, was that I was angry. But reflect over your own behavior. Are you in character, or have you changed? And is that change really temporary? Really, is it? And no one is a worse judge of your own behavior than yourself. So if a friend or a colleague tells you you're not the person you used to be, what's going on? Listen to them. Try to slow down. Try to understand what is happening. And for that to work, of course, you need to tell your friends and colleagues that you're not behaving the way I'm used to seeing you behave. What's happening?